Question number 4. Question number 4 wants us to solve the quadratic with a leading coefficient. Alright? Anytime that you're solving a quadratic with a leading coefficient that's greater than 1, alright, you need to use the method called slide and divide. Alright? So let's try to do that first question. Okay? So the first things first is that I need to get the standard form for a quadratic. Alright? However, the standard form for a quadratic means that all the variables and all the constants are all on the same side. Here, we don't have this -5 on the same side. Alright? So I need to move the -5 to the other side. To move a -5 to the other side, you need to add 5. Okay? So we're going to add 5 to both sides. Okay? So again, we're going to add 5 to both sides. Okay? Are you going to add it to the 5x squared? No. The 12x? No. The positive 2? Yes. Alright? This will get cancelled. Okay? The 5x squared, you're going to bring it down. The 12x, you're going to bring it down. And we're going to add the 2 and the 5 to get 7. Alright? Now we have everything on the same side. Okay? So now we're going to use the method slide and divide, which means we're going to circle the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is the number that's in front. Alright? That's why it's called a leading coefficient. We're going to slide it to the end. Alright? The x squared, you're going to bring it down. The 12x, you're going to bring it down. The 5 and the 7, you're going to multiply them. So again, what are you going to do to 5 and 7? Multiply them. Alright? And you will get positive 35. Okay? Now you're going to find all the numbers that multiply to give you 35, which are 1 and 35, 5 and 7, and those are all the pairs. Alright? I need to get a 12. Alright, so again, we're writing factored form, which is 2 pairs of parentheses. Alright, I put my x and my x, because x times x gives me x squared. Alright, so I need to find out what pair would add and subtract to give me a 12. Well, a hint that I have is that they can either be 2 positives or 2 negatives, because positive means same. Alright, so it's going to be either 2 positives or 2 negatives. Okay, so if we try the 1 and the 35 with 2 positives, that would give me positive 35. If I tried with 2 negatives, that would give me negative, 36, sorry. This would give me negative 36. Okay, I needed a 12. So again, if I have 2 positives or 2 negatives, which ones would work? Well, if I have a positive 5 and a positive 7, 5 plus 7 is positive 12. So that one would work. With 2 negatives, it would not work. Alright? Because that would give me a negative 12. Alright? So again, it would be a positive 5 and a positive 7. Okay? So now we're going to divide. We're going to divide by the same number that we slide by, which is this 5. So I'm going to divide this by 5, divide this by 5. Alright? So can you divide 5 by 5? Yes. You get 1. Okay? Can you divide 7 by 5? No. So I'm going to take the 5, put it in front of the x. So this will now transform to be 5x plus 7. And that is my result. Alright? So again, what do you put around your result? A box. Alright? So that is it. Let's try another one. Okay? So again, first things first, we need to get the standard form for a quadratic. Is this in standard form? No. There's 2 things that need to move to the left side. Alright? So to move the 4x to the left side, how do you move a positive 4x? You subtract 4x. Alright? Are you going to subtract it from 3x squared? No. Negative 13x? Yes, because that's the like term. That's a term that has an x. Alright? So this is cancelled. but I still have this 1 that I need to move over here. So how do I move a positive 1 to the other side? I would subtract 1 from both sides. Are you going to subtract it from 3x squared? No. Negative 13x? No. Negative 5? Yes, because that's the like term. So this gets canceled. Okay? We're not adding or subtracting anything to 3x squared, so you bring it down. I am subtracting 4x from negative 13x, and I get negative 17x. I am subtracting 1 from negative 5, and I get negative 6. Okay? Now we have everything on the same side, and it looks like the standard form for a quadratic. Alright? Now we're going to use the method called slide and divide. And again, when do you use slide and divide? When the leading coefficient, when the number in front of the x squared is greater than 1. Alright? So I circle the leading coefficient, slide it to the end. The x squared, I bring it down. The negative 17x, I bring it down. The 3 and the negative 6, I multiply them. So again, the 3 and the negative 6, you what? Multiply them. And I get negative 18. Alright? Now I'm going to write factored form, which is 2 pairs of parentheses. Alright? And then I'm going to write my x and my x, because x times x is x squared. Now I'm going to write all the numbers that multiply to give me 18. That's 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Alright? So whenever I see a negative here, guys, I think about different signs. Alright? So that means one of them is going to be positive and the other is going to be negative. Alright? So which pair do you think would end up working? Yep, the 1 and the 18. Alright? So the 1 and the 18. Because, again, if they have different signs, so say 1 is a positive, 1 is a negative, if we had a positive 1 and a negative 18, 1 minus 18 is negative 17. So again, that would definitely work. Alright? So again, the 1 would be positive and the 18 would be negative. Alright? Another way you can know is that they'll have different signs, and then the bigger number will have whatever this sign is. So because this is a negative, the bigger number, which was the 18, was also negative. Alright? Now we're going to divide by the same thing we circled, the same thing we slide by, my leading coefficient of a 3. So I'm going to divide this by 3, divide this by 3. Alright? Can you divide 1 by 3? No. So I'm going to take the 3 and put it in front of the x. So this will now become 3x plus 1. Alright? Here, can you divide negative 18 by 3? Yes. Negative 18 divided by 3 and negative divided by positive is a negative 6. And that is the result. Alright? So let's try another one, guys. Let's try another one. Alright? So again, I need to get everything to move to the left side. Alright? So to move a negative 7x to the left side, I would add 7x. Alright? However, there's no terms to add it to. Alright? Because this is an x squared and this is a constant. Alright? So neither has an x nor x squared. So what you're going to do is just that you're going to try to squeeze it in between, alright, the x squared and the constant. Because that's technically where the x is supposed to be. X squared, then x, then constant. So that's why we're squeezing it in there. Alright? So this gets cancelled. Okay? How do I move a positive 8 to the other side? I would subtract 8. Would I subtract it from 5x squared? No. From 7x? No. From the 2, the constant? Yes. So I would subtract 8. Okay? So this gets cancelled. Alright? So now we're looking on this left side. So again, we're looking only on this left side here. The 5x squared, you did not add or subtract anything to it, so you're going to bring it down, right? The 7x, you did not add or subtract anything to it, so you're going to also bring it down. The 2, you are subtracting something from it. 2 minus 8 is negative 6, all right? So again, guys, we did not add the 7x to anything because there was nothing to add it to. So that's why we brought it down, okay? So now we're going to do slide and divide. So we're going to circle the leading coefficient, slide it to the end. The x squared, you're going to bring it down. The positive 7x, you're going to bring it down. The 5 and the negative 6, you're going to multiply them. And you get negative 30. Now you're going to write factored form, which is 2 pairs of parentheses. To get an x squared, you need an x and an x. Now you're going to find all the numbers that multiply together to give you 30. Alright? Which is 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. Alright? And those are all the pairs. Okay? So what we're going to do, alright, is that, alright, so I need to get a 7, alright? Which pair do you think would add and subtract to give me a 7? Yeah, the 3 and the 10, alright? So you can always use your hints to help you, that when you see a negative here, it's going to be different signs. So that means one of them is going to be positive, the other is going to be negative, alright? So that's how I could decipher that it has to be different signs, okay? So when I do this, guys, all right, the different signs are going to correlate to this right here, all right? So I'm going to put the 3 and the 10, all right? If I did a positive 3 and a negative 10, that would give me negative 7. I need a positive 7. So that means that what is going to be positive is the bigger number, all right? So the 10 is going to be positive, the 3 is going to be negative, because that's how I get positive 7. Alright? So again, the 10 is going to be positive, the 3 is going to be negative. Alright? That's how I got 7. Okay? So now I'm going to divide both of these by 5. Okay? When I divide this by 5, I will get 2. Can I divide negative 3 by 5? No. So I'm going to take the 5, put it in front of the x. Okay? So this will now become 5x minus 3. Okay? And again, just like that. Okay? So good luck on those questions, guys. Good luck.